Alright, real quick, before we get into this video, I actually mispronounced the name of the project. So you hear in the video, you hear me say AMATERASU. AMATERASU, like it's some Yoruba demon or something. But this is actually pronounced AMATERASU, okay? So ignore the mispronunciation in the video, and let's enjoy the review. What's good, beautiful people? It's your boy Emmanuel. Welcome back again to the channel. Today's video, guys, we are doing an album review of Remy Baggins' AMATERASU. Let's go. Of course, if you're new to the channel, my name is Emmanuel. I do a bunch of album reviews, reactions, countdowns, all that good stuff. So definitely go check out the latest of my reviews, alright? So if you're not too familiar with Remy Baggins, first of all, go check out the Soaking Gary with episode that I have with him. An amazing, talented dude. We went to the same high school, got the privilege to witness his career go from almost like from chapel prefect to where he is right now, man. He's an independent artist that produces and mixes and masters all his music, all his work pretty much. Most of his music, actually. Now, if you wanted to describe his sound, you can't really pinpoint where this guy is. Like, he's a genre blending, like, it's just a quagmire. One time he's giving you an R&B project, next thing he's giving you trap, he's giving you high life, he's giving you, like, all sort of sounds and styles that this guy just drops. He's one of those guys that I honestly think he deserves a lot more credit that the industry is giving him right now. And amongst the new age artists on the scene, I think he has one of the deepest catalogs, the deepest discographies, man. 6 projects deep, and honestly not a bad one yet. And I see him as one of those artists that really respects and honors the art of putting together albums. I personally consider him out there because you can't really box this guy in. There's no sound you can put him in. His aesthetics are very unpredictable. One time he's giving you anime vibes, the other time he's giving you like 90s R&B nigga. Like, now for an artist like Remy Baggins, a lot of what determines the direction or what genre is going for a project is based on his emotions or the message that he's trying to point across. On W.I.G.B, he was practically introducing himself, and that's why you see a lot of all the genres and range that he has. You can see it all in this album. In Nagging Growl, he comes there with a very dark and gothic kind of emotion of like heartbreak and paranoia. And on that one, you're seeing him express those emotions in the soulful ways and like hip hop and EDM as well. And on the tape Yellow, he's coming there with the more bright and more cheery position with the Ire Ife, where he has a more high life, a more celebratory kind of vibe with it. And then we get to Hentai, which is meant to be, obviously in the name you can hear it, more sexually charged, more raunchy. See him in that R&B and soul kind of way. Very intimate, very aggressive. But nonetheless, one of his strongest bodies of work, and literally was one of the best albums the year it came out last year. And fast forward to early this year with Sakura, where he, again, another anime themed title here. And with Sakura, you can see him almost piggyback on his entire album, but in this case, less raunchy but more romantic, honestly more mature. And then you can see him tackle like an 80s very vintagey R&B and soul approach on this one. And now we're here with AMATERASU. AMATERASU is an aggressive approach, and that's where we get to see trap Rembo. That's where we get to see a more aggressive Remy, and hip-hop just seems to be his best genre to in order to channel that anger, that braggadocio kind of energy that you just want to scatter tables. Like, you have a score to settle, you have something to prove, you want to show and flex your skill, you want to show that this thing comes easy for you, you want to show that you're good at this and you can actually body it. That's the entire energy AMATERASU comes with. On the first track, just off the gate, on the first track, Trap Rembo, you're getting an introduction to this side of him. You're getting an introduction. It literally says, "I'm upset, bro." Like in the first line, it says, "I'm upset." And you can see him unleashed. It almost felt like a grand opening and a grand introduction, and how like he's just about to bring this persona to you, and you're about to feel the rage, the wrath of Remy. Hey, I'm upset, bro. Upset. You owe me respect, bro. It's my favorite part, yo. I'm a fire liquid metal like I'm in that boss. Come on. Let's go. Hey. Come on, that father. I'm on fire, liquid metal like I'm in that boss. Come on, man. And it follows up with Gboju, by the way, which was a song that was officially released as an Ijoya Class of 20 song. And Ijoya Class of 20 was an album. A whole bunch of emerging artists and producers came together, camped out, and produced an album with artists and producers such as Tells and Remy Baggins and Gboju and who else? Mins, Fashino, Duni. There was a whole bunch. Okay, check out that album. I made an amazing project. Remy's track was the one. This was the song where he actually came in as an artist, and it was produced by, yes, you guessed it, Funkula. Okay, Tells was actually one of those producers. Obviously, you can see the Nigerian drill, man. Nigerian drill coming in hard. Remy took that song and developed on it, and invited. These two features just made it clear that this was a celebration of the trap scene, where he brings in Psycho YP and Mojo. Absolutely made the song even much more complete. Both artists came in and really bodied it, put it in the same narrative of Gboju. Again, you're seeing the consistency in the message and the underlying like energy that he's bringing throughout the album, where he's upset, he's angry, showing you that he's the best at this. For everyone that's almost doubted him but being in his face, not telling him that he's worthy or he's good enough, this is like a middle finger to all of them. And Gboju is just another track that reiterates that for me, and it's an amazing bang. Okay. Gboju, get out of my face, I don't know you. Yeah, Gboju, get out of my face, I don't know you. Now we get to the track called Southside, where he has Marv, OTM, Veen, and Kinka. Again, this was a track that was on point, on message, definitely bringing that same energy that, look, we can take it outside, man. Like, we don't have to talk, we can take it outside. You know what I mean? You can see that kind of like standoffish energy. That was very confrontational, very addictive, easy to follow kind of hook, more mid-tempo than the previous track. So you can see him switch up the energies a little bit, and you can see the transition over the course of the album. Now we get to 808 Therapy, and frankly, I think this song is the heart, it's the core of this entire album, okay? And it just happens to be in the center. He positioned it in the center, man. Now, previously in the album, you've seen him stand off, I'm a badass, I'm this, I'm that. And on this track, you can see him on an extremely vulnerable Remy Baggins here. You can see him almost like pull the curtains down a little bit for us to see the behind the scenes of where he's coming from and why he's so, I guess, aggressive on this album, why he's a little bit of his background and why he's so angry and why he's so like aggressive, and pretty much telling us the roots of this issue. And you can hear lyrics like, don't tell me to stick to the beats, my nigga, I'm sicker than all your faves. That Kanye story, man, as a producer, coming off as a producer, people recognize you as a producer, but they're trying to dismiss you as an artist, and he wasn't having any of that. He has been told that to stick to his beats, and he addresses this in the interview, by the way. If you go into the Soaking Gary with, you can see him talk about how people have looked down on him, almost like it was having that Kanye moment. Pip, the numbers have been piling up, I know you see him, why you acting up? Hit a milli and it's over, cause I'ma crash the fucking party and light it up. I'ma light it up. And there you get to see another FU to the doubters and people that have doubted his ability as an artist. He's saying he's climbing numbers, he's building numbers, and as an artist, man, he's on his path, he's on his way. Almost like a Michael Jordan thing, where he took those criticisms and those doubters so personal that he has channeled it into this album. And obviously on the hook, you see him telling us that he channels his anger and emotions through the 808, turning the 808s into therapy for him. So that was 808 Therapy. An amazing track that really told us a lot more of where it was coming from. Now we get into my absolute favorite. This was an accidental kind of record in a way. If you listen to it again, I'm plugging my Soaking Gary with, go check it out. He talks about how he actually made the song with Boogie. Headies nominated lyricist, one of the best MCs we have in Africa. I'll put my money on that. Honestly, one of the best MCs. You can see him come with the flames, bro. With the flames, with this verse. And frankly, man, this song was just like, bro, I couldn't stop thinking about the song. First listen, I kept going back to it, man. First off, one thing I noticed about the song is that it's honestly built for all the social media challenges, bro. It actually is. So I can see it in TikTok or Triller. Hold up, wait. Take a picture. I'ma strike a pose, get my features. Hey.
From heaven that said I choose thee. Right with the ink, indelible, think incredible, then I make you see.
Come on.
Fight the force, be a lifeless corpse, and truly all I wanna
go. Let's go. I love the structure of the song. Remy Baggins doesn't even have a full verse. Honestly, it's only one verse and one strong. Hey, definitely one of my favorite boogie verses of all time. And that says a lot, man. The 808's just fire, man. Now, What It Gonna Be? What It Gonna Be is a song that, honestly, you can see him still be on message, but this is a more trap soul kind of approach. You can see him go harder on his singing on this one. You can see him sound more melodic on this one. And with the guest feature from Zilla Oaks, the song just really captivates you. Very addictive melody on this one. Very strong record. A lot of people's favorites I've been seeing, but this song has even grown further from the first listen, and I really love this one. I love the approach on this one. And now we get to the last one, No Regrets. No Regrets is another very vulnerable record here, and honestly going back to it, this is a very personal record. This is where you get more of him, almost like a tie back to 808 Therapy, but this one was even much more of a stronger effort on that one, just to close the album. You can see him talk about how he has been under pressure, and I know this guy personally, and even if from the interview that I did with him, you hear how much risk he had to take, how much pressure he was under as an artist that was coming out of school, going all in on his music career. I can see that in the chorus, man. He's saying, I've been under pressure, waiting on my moment, waiting for a sign. I know I've made mistakes and I have got no regrets. I'm waiting on my time. Very relatable record. A lot of people will relate to this, that have taken that leap of faith into going for their passions, going for anything. And honestly, frankly, looking at all my mates that come out of school together, he was one of those guys, and I've never told him this personally, but it was one of those guys that really like, growing up in Nigeria is not an easy thing, okay? Especially coming out of a place where your parents have this built-in expectations of how your life should go, and how the path that they put in front of you is the only path that they think you should be taking. That's a mindset of many Nigerian parents. And for him to show and break out of what the box that he has been in, the box that he was put in by society, honestly, you can see him break out of that and have this rebellious spirit. Growing up, I honestly saw that in him as well. Okay, this guy is really inspiring me to pursue whatever passion that I have. And it goes back to something that I've said before. He is honestly one of the reasons why I started this channel. I'm watching him take that leap and going full force on his career, pursuing his passions, pursuing his dreams. He honestly inspired me personally and gave me some form of drive into whatever I wanted to do, whatever my passions were. And this song was very emotional too, because you can see lyrics like, Mama, I can feel it. I can feel it. I know you've been waiting on the boy. I know you've been waiting for me to blossom. I know you've been waiting for me to propel into my calling. I've been on my toes 8 till dawn. That's what I'm on, but they be hating on your boy. Honestly, very emotional song, and I can see many people relating to this message. It's such a relatable song, and the level of delivery here and his pouring his emotions on this record is so good. Makes the song stand out, and honestly, it feels like a very solid way to end the album. It just ended the album, and the entire experience of the album made it go down as one of my favorite albums out this year. And trust me, if I didn't know the guy personally, I would still say the same thing about his album. If he ever dropped an album that was below his standards, honestly, I would be the first to say it. Remy Baggins has always stepped up and somehow made a better project than the last one, and honestly, this has honestly grown to be my favorite project of his. AMATERASU is something special. Amazing production throughout. Mind you, this is the guy that produced every track on this album except Gboju. Made a huge statement for the Nigerian trap scene and said, look, there's a lot of talent here. Honestly, bringing so many faces and names that you guys should know. From Psycho YP to Mojo to Zilla Oaks to Kinka to Marvel TM. So many names that definitely stand out for Nigerian trap scene. Remy Baggins, amazing projects. If I was to put a number to it, I've had so much time spent on this album. It honestly sits at 9.2 for me. Honestly, one of my favorites out this year. Let me know what you think about the album if you checked it out. I've been your boy, Emmanuel. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Hold on, wait. Take a picture. I'ma strike a pose, get my features.